And welcome to AI, the cool stuff. Yeah, today we're a little bit low on numbers, but we've got some great stuff to share with you anyway. So we'll quickly just introduce ourselves and then we'll crack on. So Jane, tell us about you. And
Hello,
my
everyone.
question was going to be or is, do you pay for any AI? And if not, is there any that you think would be worthwhile?
Yeah, it's a good question, isn't it? No, I'm far too mean to pay for anything that I don't absolutely have to, frankly. And some of them, things like Pi, the AI thing, was free, um, but it chucked me off, as you know. So at the moment, feel a bit. Do you remember back in the day there used to be all these search engines? I can't remember the name of any of them other than Google now, but it's like that. I feel it's like that. It's a sort of they're all fighting in a ring, and it will be an ever decreasing ring because um, somebody's going to get a preference. I think ChatGPT is probably the one that most people pay for at the moment. I've got it free on my new phone, but I don't know for how long. Also, it was again cut off. It was cut off last year, 2024. It didn't know that Trump was now the president of the US, which is bloody annoying, actually. Anyway, excuse my language. So yeah, Chain Check reported the companies in Victor Linux. We provide IT systems for small and medium-sized businesses with a strong focus on privacy and security. We build Linux systems and promote open source solutions. That's me. Thank you.
Perfect. And as long as you've got a browser, you can access all the AI tools, really. So,
Absolutely, you can.
it's,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's the wonderful thing about it. Yeah, because when I first started promoting stuff or doing SEO as it was just submitting to search engines back then. It was because but they didn't spider people's sites. They were just directories in a way. Alta Vista was number one. And
Yeah,
Netscape, you know,
yeah.
Netscape was the number one browser, and the number two was Yahoo. Well, Yahoo and Alta Vista sort of fought it out. They were duking it out to be number one, and there was this
Yeah.
little tiny search engine that, along with Dogpile and all the others, was called Backrub. And Backrub, they changed their name to Google, and they haven't looked back.
No, God, I didn't know that. I'll have to look that up. That's fascinating. Wow.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I remember submitting to Backrub in the late 90s, you know.
Wow. Back right. Do you remember one that was a dog? The
Dogpile.
logo was a dog, and you used to have to go and it's as it were, it sort of fetched the information for you and came back. I can't remember what it was called now, but
There was Dogpile. There was
That was
Ask Google.
Dogpile.
oh, no, I don't think it was called dog.
CompuServe. Oh,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
these are
yeah,
the days.
CompuServe. That used to be
Yeah.
my ISP at one time, CompuServe.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
it was huge, wasn't it? What's happened to that now?
It's probably been swallowed up by.
That's got swallowed up by AOL, didn't it?
uh,
Oh, did it?
Which
Oh,
got swallowed
okay.
up by someone else, and then they just spend a lot of money and lose money on it, I think.
mm,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. Andy, tell us about you.
Andy Grove Success Insights, help people get more from their websites. Do I pay for AI? Yes, I do. I pay for ChatGPT, obviously. Um, Very much worth it. I do come across people who say, oh, £20 a month. I'm thinking, oh, come on. You can do so much with it for 20 quid a month.
Yeah.
Hell of a lot.
Mm,
I don't yet pay for Perplexity, haven't needed to. I did pay for Ideogram, whatever it's called, but don't think I'll need to because ChatGPT's moved on a lot. Um, Very interested at the moment in the AI overviews and how they seem to be getting stronger in Google. And Google are finally getting themselves in their house in order. Um, that's becoming quite fascinating.
mm, yeah,
Also fascinated in your cling versus runway versus Sora thing that you
yeah,
did your article. The fact that it
yeah.
did get ranked.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, yeah,
That's just
absolutely. Got nine times the amount of hits on the website as a result of that one article.
did you?
Yeah,
So you had 9 people go there.
that time people go there instead of one. Yeah. But I got because you get the Google report every don't know week or every couple of weeks or something, and the graph
Yeah,
is like that, you know.
What does your Google Search Console, out of interest, say that you're getting in the way of keywords for it? Because it must tell you the keywords you're visible for.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't even look. I just looked at the charts and thought, wow, I only got it the other day, last week. But I mean,
I think it'd be fascinating because considering that's completely AI generated, isn't it, that thing?
it is. Yeah, totally. And I wouldn't. It's because it's got loads of. I think it's because it's got loads of outbound links. It's got about 90 outbound links on it. So
I,
it's. I think that's got something to do with. Apart from the fact that it's big content. The trouble is that particular content is not really the thrust of my website, but it seems to have worked. But I mean, I'm going to be. I need to put more relevant search for my website. That was just I just did it for this, for
mm,
benefit of this. Um,
I think it would be fascinating for you to do that. I'd love to see the outcome and see
mm,
if you can get ranked for something else
yeah,
that's
I want to get
similar.
ranked for Oxygen. Like there's a page builder called Oxygen that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Hardly anyone uses it, and not many um, web people actually know about it, or whether they know about it, but
I've
they don't
used it.
use it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is, I think it's a pretty good tool. So I think that specializing in that might be something worth.
Well, at least putting up an AI article on that topic
Yeah,
just to
yeah,
see if it gets ranked.
yeah. I thought about Elementor versus Oxygen versus, what it.
Because for my blog, I've been looking for a guinea pig of someone who's done that and has
Mm,
succeeded in it. You see, so
yeah.
it's a. I think
Mm,
that was an interesting experiment. The only other thing I've been doing is haven't looked at it properly. It's probably old news. Uh, there's an AI for that.com
right. Yeah,
website where you sign in with your Google account as normal, and it's just like a big search engine for lots of things you can do with AI.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Somebody sent me a chart the other day with with loads of tools on it, all sort of listed out, and I have to try and dig it up. I think it's on my. I think it's somebody WhatsApped to me on Wednesday, and I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. So I'm,
Yeah, I've yet to have a proper go of it, but
mm,
it
yeah,
it is
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, because there are so many. A lot of them are just using, what ChatGPT gives you anyway, and just repackaging it and just using the API to give you different slant on those results. And a lot of the time, you can just use ChatGPT rather
Yeah,
than paying for another.
yeah. It also has a leaderboard, the most popular things on there. So you'd expect ChatGPT to be number one, etc. But
Mm.
you see others sneaking in there like Suno and a thing called FreePic AI image generator is very popular. You
Yeah.
think, oh, I'd never heard of that.
There's a couple of ways of generating free pictures, and um, so there's for sure.
Kling's at number 18.
I use Kling,
Clean.
And
Clean
Jane's
with a
favourite,
K.
yeah,
KlingAI.com.
and
It's
Jane.
yeah.
And if I said Jane's favourite app is at number 22, what would that be?
Well,
Well, it
it's
used to be Pi, but it probably isn't anymore.
Do you mean Pi or Poe?
Poe. Poe. No, I don't know. Poe?
Oh,
Pi.
Poe is similar. Yeah,
yeah, POE.com. It's
POE.
Ah,
it's yeah,
P-O,
it
okay.
gives you access to a lot of, if you're a low free user, it's really good value. It's really, well, it doesn't cost you anything,
Yeah.
but I mean,
So yeah, I'll have to have. We did look at that once, didn't we? Because it had
a
it
couple of
was sort
times,
of
yeah.
yeah, it was like the supermarket for all of them. Is that
Mm.
right?
In a
Uh,
way, in a
no,
way, but it's
no, Poe is more about. It's like a counselor, isn't it?
is it? I thought it was just repackaging other people's. It was repackaging lots of different.
Yeah.
Um, you can create your
Yeah.
own little box and stuff on it, Poe. So
Mm.
you can get it to talk about things like, yeah, I did one for exercise, for example, health.
Right.
And it just every time you think, right, I need a boost in this area, you just ask it and it gives you suggestions.
And that's POE.
POE,
Yeah.
yeah, POE.com.
Perhaps it's chat. I haven't been on there for ages, but I mean, maybe it's changed its slant.
And maybe it does everything. Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's got lots and lots of he's got lots of well, sort of GPTs, but they call them
Mm,
something else, don't they?
Hmm.
Assistants, or I can't remember what they call them now. Bots they call them, don't they? So it's
yeah.
So I'm looking at it there. Yeah, yeah. It's got lots of previews and things of other things, but yeah, I think it's.
Mm.
I think the main chat thing is free, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
so pretty
Do you
awesome.
think, when I know that, I think if you both, we've talked about it before, that the reason that you subscribe, would, I suppose, two reasons. One is that you have access to your history, so that's never lost. And obviously, you spend a lot of time, and I mean, we know that prompting now is becoming a real art. I mean, I think the prompt engineers are in high demand. So it's a history, and it's also the fact that you know that you're going to get pretty up-to-date information. So whatever AI you're using, it's going to be on the ball.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. I think
Would you?
but you, yeah, you can get ChatGPT to write its own prompts. Um,
Yeah.
so, depending on what you want to
Clever.
do. It sounds a bit weird, but I mean, it can sort of write, sort of ask it to write a killer prompt, and it'll do it.
Uh,
Yeah. Anyway, I'm David Harris. Apart from doing this, I do web design and a portfolio career. But yes, so we also run Peppercorn. Well, go to peppercorn.biz and you can see we do networking on a Thursday and networking on a Friday. And what do I pay for? Well, ChatGPT is probably my number one. Pretty, I agree everything Andy said, completely, because I use it all the time, and it is pretty. Say that the history thing, the fact I don't have to keep reminding it of who I am and what I want to do, and I've got different projects for different things that I do. So if I'm doing a particular web project, I can just create a web project file, upload all the specs and everything from the client, just bang it in there. And then everything I ask, like I've been using Oxygen, I wasn't completely familiar with it when I first started this project I'm doing, but I just kept banging in screenshots and say, hey, I'm trying to do this. Instead of me sort of fumbling around trying to find the answer, it would just instantly give me the answer. So it saves a lot of time.
It still lies a lot, though, doesn't it? I mean,
Yeah, yeah, there are.
even the simplest things, like I asked it how to do a particular thing on a screen, problem I was having with the screen thing. And I asked it, and it came back with an answer, and it referred to clicking on the three dots, and there were no three dots on there. So I went back to it and said, "There's no three dots." It says, "You're correct," and then it gives you the right answer. It's almost like it's a compulsive liar that
yeah,
then has to
yeah,
be found out.
As soon as you find it out, it starts saying, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Do you know, sorry, I was just, that they're now charging, of course, for the Silvertown and the Blackwell Tunnel, and so I think it was Gemini actually, and just asked, where do I go? Would it be incorporated in the dark charge? Because you've got an account for the Dartford Tunnel as well. So, and it said, no, no, for the Mersey Tunnel, and there's another one up north. You have to pay separately. And I'm thinking, what? There is in London. It was just so random. And I said, we're talking about London here.
yeah, that's
Oh,
right. Yeah,
oh yeah.
yeah,
And so yeah, you're right, Andy. I think so. It's maybe not only Oxygen that does that. I think it's all of them. It's like testing you.
It's where you need that central super thing to just say, pass this to something else. Just click a
Yeah,
button, pass to something else, or to the combination of things, and see if what they say.
yeah,
That's what
yeah,
that would
yeah.
be a nice app. I'd like to see that, something that sense checks them all.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. But also, I pay for Suno. I
You do pay for that one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I pay because I make the YouTube videos with like swing tracks. I've been experimenting with operatic tracks as well now. And then I'm not sure it's a good idea or not, but I'm doing it because I can. I use Midjourney to create my images. I'll subscribe to that, and then I use Kling, mainly Kling, to uh, animate the images because Sora is sadly very disappointing.
Yes.
It's after waiting all that time and it comes out with a pile of crap like Sora. Presumably they're going to get better.
It's odd, isn't it? Because you've got ChatGPT. Yeah, they're obviously the leader when it comes to the AIs to ChatGPT. But
Yeah.
then something out there stable is not strong, and it's like this
Mm.
things all over the place.
Yeah.
Mm.
But
Yeah, yeah.
Gemini, we're talking about Google, Andy, and I agree with that as well. Google have really sorted themselves out. We were always like slagging them off in the last year or so.
Mm.
So shit. But now they're sort of they've really pulled it round, I think, because there's Gemini does loads of things that are um, are pretty comparable with ChatGPT and better in some ways, So the sort of deep research you can do you can have a couple of things, don't know if it's a day or a week or something for free with Gemini that you got to pay for with ChatGPT. So if you're a freebie person, then Gemini is worth looking at for deep research.
I'm
Um,
finding what I'm finding interesting because I obviously pay for Google Workspace for a few accounts
mm,
that I've got. And historically, it sort of said, "Do you want to use this AI thing? Do you want to use this AI thing? It's all included, etc." And I've just ignored it.
mm,
But since I've been looking at the AI overviews being better, I'm
mm.
looking at those things and thinking, well, maybe I'll start to trust you a little bit more now. Maybe I'll look into it more.
Yeah, yeah.
But beforehand, I wouldn't have touched it,
Because
like I wouldn't have touched
because
Google
they've
Ads
dropped the
before.
price as well for an individual user. It's 14 quid. It was 20, and you get the 1 terabyte drive and the um all the AI Gemini
Yeah.
and
Yeah, but does you Gemini's free though, isn't it? I mean, or do you
yeah,
get an enhanced
no, you
version if
can't
you
use
have
the
Google
yeah, you
Workspace?
don't get the best you don't get their I'm trying to think what it's called now.
Super duper level.
But the
Yeah.
Pro, yeah, the you get the 2.5 Flash, I think. You don't get 2.5 Pro with the freebie, but 2.5 Flash is pretty good, to be honest.
Mm.
Mm, it's a bit more in depth with the um, Pro, but yeah, otherwise it's pretty good.
I think
Um,
it's there seems to be a lack of out there. People who are doing YouTube videos just talking about their AI setup, what they
mm,
do in their world.
yeah, yeah,
And so you start to get more of a feel for how people are stringing things together. People seem to be using things and keeping it close to their chest as if it's their little secret.
yeah. I was going to make one actually of me making a YouTube video because I generate well, my first stop is to come up with the concept, which is
Mm.
from me, and then I develop that with ChatGPT, and then we sort of get some sort of storyboard or text storyboard down about how I'm going to produce that. They're only 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes long, so it's not like a massive task.
Mm.
I then know what images I need to create. Now, creating the images is something. The reason I never use text to video is that it's way more expensive. You can create thousands of images for the price of a couple of videos.
Yeah.
So it's pennies with creating the images. So I'm creating 4 images at a time, and I might have to create 100 images to get one that I want. So it's and then I get that one image that I like, put it into Kling and
Mm.
animate it. And it's usually first time. Sometimes it takes me 2 goes, but usually I get that animation right first time once I've got the image that I want. Um, and then I put it all together I put them together in Canva, and then I create the backing track on Suno, and then I create that there. So I mean, Suno's brought out a new release last week, which is pretty good because you can have consistency of your rock stars or your singers.
Right.
So there's I'll just share my screen. I don't know if this is this is this is my Suno. So you can add you can add your own lyrics here. So you can get ChatGPT to write your lyrics, or you can write your own lyrics, or you can
Yeah.
just say auto and get it to write lyrics for you. Um, you can choose whether to be instrumental or not. Um, uh, um, my cat likes fighting with my dog. Um, and then, oh no, that's um, no, I want to describe the lyrics, so I want to put that there. Um, and the style here. Uh, swing, jazz, beat. You can put almost anything in there,
Mm.
and you can exclude styles if you want. Now I've created several personas. I've got a group called Piston Broke. I've got a female singer, Angelica Blowhard. I've got I've got another female singer called Tallulah Vane, and I've got a male jazz singer who's a bit like who's that famous swing singer? He sounds a bit like him, so I'm going to use him.
Yeah.
So he's Ellington Steele, and that's it. That's all you need to do, really. You can put in a title
Mm.
if you want. Otherwise, it'll make one up, and you just click on create. Um, and once you've got the song, you can rework it as well with a different singer.
Can
So
you can you upload music and ask it to create something along a similar vein?
yes, and you can also hum a tune. I'm not sure about this, but in the app you can hum a tune and
Mm.
it will pick it up and it will like if you've made one up in your head and you don't know how to write music, you can just hum into the app, then it will get it and put it with a full orchestra and everything. You
Wow.
know, it'll get your tune and your theme and it'll create something from it. So
Yeah.
it's gone easy. Pause and clause, it's called it. Okay, fair enough. Don't know if you'll be able to hear it.
At the moment.
My cat's got swagger sharp as ice.
You can't hear that, can you?
Dogs all
Yeah. Yeah.
he plays now.
So I don't like either of those very much because it's got the words here as
Yeah.
well. But you can edit the words it's created or create new ones, and then you can again. I found you have to create a lot. You have to create a lot of tracks to get a decent one. Um, Although you can edit them, but you can. I usually find it's easier just to bang out another one until you find one you like. It's because you can just leave it to it, you know.
And you
So
can see what other people have done, can't you? I
yeah,
think on Suno, and I found myself playing some stuff that other people have done, thinking, yeah, that's quite good in the background, rather than
yeah.
what
But you
I
can't
had.
download it or anything. So
No,
and there's a although you can publish it as your own stuff in the UK, in America you can't. It's not. You have to. You don't have copyright over AI generated music.
you don't. No.
No, no. But I
What do
mean,
they charge you for the paid version? Because I think it was 50 credits a day on the free one, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. It's less than a tenner.
Or is that all? And
I,
you get
I
quite a lot
think
for it.
it's yeah, thousands and thousands of credits.
Okay.
It's I think it's £8. I think it's $10.
Yeah.
It's working out about £8 at the moment. So I mean,
So we're looking at the paid version that you're using, David,
it
isn't it?
looks the same as the free version.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I mean, it's so yeah. So I think it's I think you can get lost in it for ages as well. I mean, it's a not quite the same as TikTok, but you can once you start creating music, you think, well, I wonder what happened if I did that same one as an operatic track as well, or
Yeah.
an epic music or orchestral, put an orchestra in the background instead of the jazz band, you know, and it's kind of you can do all those things really easily, and it's quite a
And
um,
if you could combine the styles from two or three things you upload in some way, just get it to understand that.
that's right, yeah, yeah, it's just I think I think it's incredible. I feel sorry for kind of people that write music for a living because you know, or even sing because if it's bringing out like I've got an Italian singer that sounds like a bit like Pavarotti, you know, and it's or one of these top tenors. So it's
This is what interest is interesting because as people become more insular and hermit like, They're
Mm.
just going to sit there and get their stuff on these sort of things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because you won't need artists because it'll
Yeah.
generate our computer, which will be a shame. But you still won't get live performances, I don't suppose, until you get your AI robot singing it.
I saw a thing the other day
Mm.
talking about which jobs are going to disappear first via AI, and it's all very speculative, but quite interesting that people are looking at it that way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
Mm.
like mine, web design, for instance, and stuff like that. That's going to go because
In time, it probably will. It's not there
mm,
yet, but
yeah, yeah. Because even with like Gemini, like you can create your web, and with ChatGPT as well, you can go to the canvas and create a web page, and
mm,
it looks pretty good, but then you've got to implement it somehow. So, and unless you've got that know-how at the moment, um, it's kind of a there. And then they'll, even if they did, they'd be falling foul of what you do, Andy, because it'll be, you know, it'll either be tied up with loads of templates, or something will be um,
yeah.
we'll give it a problem with SEO, and it's um, yeah. So I think there's
Yeah, I think that's a bit too simplistic because you're still going to have to edit it, so you're going to have to know something about HTML, presumably, and domains, and then hosting, and then updates. I remember once a few years ago we used WordPress, and I think the WordPress theme had updated before WordPress itself just stopped working. You couldn't get into it as an admin, and we used 123reg at the time. They couldn't do anything at all. We were absolutely stuffed. For another company we used to work for, they lost their domain, was registered in America. The guy that registered it had long since either died or left the company. There was just nothing. We could absolutely do nothing about it. And we did in the end, but we had to, get legal documents and so forth to get it. There's
I think
still there's
it's
still
certainly
a
going to be interesting because, for a lot of us, over the next 5, 10 years, if we're lucky enough to be retiring in that time,
mm,
we're probably could
scary.
be we'll be okay. We'll survive it. But it's those that are sort of like people in their more like their 40s
mm,
Yeah,
and stuff who rely on things like voiceover artists, people like that.
yeah,
There's going to be some carnage. It's just not knowing exactly where that's going to be yet.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, right.
I mean, there's
Yeah, that's true. I think musicians are probably quite safe because I suppose that live gig thing is always going to be popular, isn't it? I mean, why
Where
do people travel all the way to Nebworth?
you're going to see this whole movement come up. Do stuff
Mm,
live, be with people, all this. You can see it
mm,
coming.
mm,
mm,
It,
mm, mm,
uh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and I think that's probably not a bad thing because I thought like you just said, we'll all become hermits. we
You look at a lot of
won't
the
need to
youngsters.
leave your house, but we'll
yeah,
all be living in sort of Elon Musk's little tiny houses.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
they were funny.
little
Just
cubes.
with a chair and a
Yeah,
bed and a microwave.
That went
yeah,
quiet,
who
that
needs
whole thing,
people?
didn't it? Is that still going ahead? Because I thought it
So
looked quite interesting.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I think it'd be interesting because I think it's potentially could solve a lot of problems, but
mm,
there again, long term, I don't know. I don't know. I
mm,
mean, we'll be creating more problems. I don't know. I mean, will people
mm,
start going bananas because they're cooped up in their tiny house? I went
mm.
into town and killed everyone because I've gone crazy in my tiny house.
I think what'll be interesting is if regulation starts to affect what we're able to do, whether it's AI and other stuff. I
Mm,
was talking to a guy the other day in Spain, and the amount of regulation they have there, completely, you cannot operate as a business.
yeah.
Um, and
Mm,
AI and parts of that are part of that mix.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. And even yeah. And I think with AI, I was looking at a video the other day about the new, like the Google search mode, because um that's gonna be taking a lot of things away because they've rolled it out properly in America. We've just got like a little thing at the top of the page at the moment when you go to
Uh,
Google that gives you the answer to your query.
yeah,
But in America, it's much more expanded, but they've been talking about it for a year or more. But I mean, they're actually doing it, and there's the people who were on the top page have reported their CTRs, that's click-through rate, as you know, Andy, Jane might not, is dropped by 50% for many of those websites on that top page, and that's a massive drop.
Oh yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
It can really affect your business, you know.
what's that? What?
Oh, when you got the Google search, what do they call it, David?
It's the
AI.
it's just, I call it AI
It's not the
powered.
AI overview, is it? It's the
Yeah,
AI search.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's an AI powered search mode is what they were calling it.
yeah.
There's no,
It's sort of linked in with Gemini AI to give you the answers to your query rather than giving you a load of websites.
Right.
yeah. I
Oh, I
think there is no
see.
doubt at all that this whole traditional thing of going down lots of pages on Google to
Yeah.
find stuff not
Yeah.
going to happen.
I think I wrote something. Um,
And interesting, it's going to be really interesting because there are people that get some traffic from being on first page of Google,
yeah,
and that's going to disappear if they're not prominent in the AI views.
they're
We're
gonna,
not talking about the sponsored results, are we? We're talking about the actual,
The
no,
actual
organic, as it were.
traditional organic stuff. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's been
yeah,
going for a while, but
Mm.
yeah.
the big question in my head, which I've not seen the answer to yet, is how is Google still going to protect its revenue stream of Google Ads, building it into all that stuff?
Exactly. That's what I don't understand.
Mm.
Maybe they're expecting an upturn in subscribers or something for because they dropped the price to 14 quid. So they've
Yeah,
placed themselves really well.
yeah.
With the free, you get the Google apps and you get the terabyte of cloud storage. It's really quite good value. I mean,
Mm. Mm.
so
But compared to what they make from Google Ads, I
yeah,
don't see how any subscription model can compete with that level of profit they're making from that revenue.
no, because some of them are like £100 a click,
Oh yeah,
I
ridiculous
mean,
money.
it's
Yeah,
like if you're
yeah.
sort of selling mortgages or something. I mean, you've got to pay through the nose for your clicks.
Oh God, yeah, you would do. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
So
we tried it for a little while and dropped it immediately. It's just too, you know.
yeah, I mean, I had a business even in 2008 when they changed things around. We were spending um, about £500 a day on Google Ads, and it was
Blimey.
and it was and we were paying like between 1 and 10p a click. I mean, God knows what it would be now.
it was originally back in 2004, wasn't it? Roughly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
We used to do quite well out of it. I mean, £500 a day sounds pretty heavy, you know, because it's 15 grand a month, but we were getting 70 grand's worth of sales.
yeah,
Mm.
So it's kind of a
Mm.
it's not it was good, but then they changed things around in 2008 and they started favouring large businesses, and
I
then
think what will be
Uh,
interesting is if Google. My gut feel is Google are going to get their AI stuff working well, the searching within it,
mm,
and then you will see the Google ads creeping into it,
mm, oh yeah,
so that
mm.
and so people will have no choice but to do the. I really don't know which way it's going to go.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And anyway,
But
I created this thing that I was going to do it, and then I wasn't going to do it, but I mean. There's about optimizing your website. This is something I created with ChatGPT and Gamma, obviously.
yeah,
So it's some interesting things. I mean, sort of AI summaries are going to be, as we were just saying, is going to generate results, the answers directly in search results. So this can satisfy the user's queries and websites in America that already got this system sort of bigger than we have experienced declining CTRs. As I said, the thing I saw on Google was that on YouTube was that they're saying roughly about 50% of their click-throughs are gone.
yeah.
So the so there's a thing about emphasizing authority. So Google's AI, because Google does tell you where it's got its information from, sort of down the side.
Mm. Mm.
So if you can get if you can be an authority in a particular field, and it's very difficult because there's only a small number of spaces and a lot of people, then if you can get yourself positioned as a recognized expert, then building authority is obviously quite critical. So strengthening the SEO fundamentals, it's about demonstrating expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. You've still got to do the on-page SEO and everything else, because it's because you've still got to figure on there the Google Gods great list, So no, I won't go through these. These are just about structuring your data on the page, and if you're in the know, you already know, and if you're not, you're probably not interested. But there's sort of, it's about meta tags and
The schema in particular, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. The schemas. I mean, I know Steffi's got schema doing it all on her new system, so it's and it makes a huge difference. Again, sort of, these are things we do anyway now. I mean, sort of, these are things should be done whether you're doing it for AI or not, So it's but the fast loading things, internal links, or link structure, not having broken links, but a lot of people don't do internal links. So internal linking can tell Google what the main page is, because when you do certain topics, it can be confusing about where you should be going, whereas internal links can tell Google that this is the page you need to go to, that particular subject. Yeah, content creation is going to be I'm making it readable. So I think that's it's saying 1,500 plus words for primary topics, which is quite a bit longer than a normal blog. Blogs are anything from, quite short ones are 300, but I would say 600 is probably pretty standard. But it's saying 1,500 plus words. Obviously, deep research can do that for you and give you value, because like with that deep research we were just looking at, it creates tables and everything, and it makes the whole thing a lot more readable. So it's video content. Video is pretty crucial. Sort of YouTube itself is pretty crucial because it's obviously a search engine in its own right. But again, with videos, there's not so much SEO. See all this crap it's putting in. YouTube, top V, Opdal.
I like a bit of Polish.
It does look a bit that way, doesn't it? So yeah, so sort of videos. For some reason, Google likes the fact you've got a video there, and if it is an embedded YouTube video, it can get the content from YouTube. So I was interested about the two main things that scored the most highest were LinkedIn and Reddit. That went with the which I thought was very interesting. So having Reddit articles and things, but if you've the Google AI search where it given the answers, it seemed to be getting a lot of information from Reddit. So it's so obviously Wikipedia as well, but for a lot of things it was nearly every single result had a Reddit link in there.
What did they pay for it?
I
Was it
didn't think
60 million? Was it 60 million they put into Reddit, Google?
So something like that, yeah.
So there's
is
obviously
it,
there's a link there, isn't there? An easier link for them to get stuff.
but
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought that Reddit was an authoritative, publication or online resources. It's
Depends on
just
the interaction you get with it and things like that from other users.
Yeah, you get multiple people saying different things about different topics, and it's all down to niches. So it's going to take an aggregate of them.
Yeah.
So Reddit, I mean, I've not got heavily into Reddit. I need to, but
Yeah.
I can see the benefits of you
In,
can't just go in there to spam stuff.
no, no.
Yeah,
Quora as well, Q&As on Quora.
yeah,
But
quite like
Quora,
Quora.
Reddit, and LinkedIn seem to be like on nearly every um, page of results. So
So Google own Reddit now, do they?
Well, they don't
Or
own it.
they've invested in it.
I think they've invested in it. I think they own a
Mm.
piece of it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Can't
but,
remember the
Mm.
but all these
thing.
things are worth ridiculous money, aren't they? You know.
Mm.
So building strong backlinks. This is the thing that foxes most people because you know, because you have sort of doing it. If you're a small business, I mean, sort of identifying authority sites and getting your site listed on them. You know, we all know about directories and things, but um, that's kind of, I think that foxes most people, and that's what a lot of people would maybe farm out to. They think, oh, I can't do that. So it's having well-known content creators as well. And the other thing, I don't know if it's on another slide, but having an author page on your blog is crucial because it looks, apparently Google looks for an author page. So if your name is there as the author of a document, it then looks for the author. And then if when it finds the author page, you can have everything there about to establish the authority of that author. So their experience, their education, their what they've done in the past,
Oh,
links to LinkedIn and other things. So having that author page on your blog is really is nothing I thought about before last week. I think you know, but it is
no.
really, these guys were saying it was really, really important.
Can
And
you
this
just
is
put a link to LinkedIn, your LinkedIn profile or something? Do you think that
Yeah,
would?
yeah, you would have that on your author page, but you'd have
Yeah.
a link to other work and
I
other.
think this is also what's missing, isn't it? There's all these things out there like SEO type packages that sort of take you down a certain path, but they do it in a funny way. In reality, what humans want to do is say, right, I've got this part of my website I want to be visible. Can
Mm,
you find me the immediate thing? Give me a list of things I need to do, bite size. I did it the other day with a page, one of my own pages, which had come across from another website. It turned out there were duplicate H1 tags in the
right.
page, and
Yeah.
I
Mm.
hadn't even seen it.
Yeah.
And you
Oh
think,
wow.
oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can, I'm just picturing this thing where, let's say it's Jane. Each day you get an email saying, "Here's the next thing you can focus on, author, these things, whatever it is,"
Mm.
and bit by bit,
Yeah.
people would pay for that. I would have thought if it was the right thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Or
Mm.
even sign up for your newsletter for, you know, like if you've got a value
Yeah.
download or something, it's a way of getting your prospect list up. You know,
Yes.
because I was looking at something else this morning about using deep research um, for um, finding out what sells, you know, on what you can produce as downloads for people, what value you can bring to people. Now, talking about the wedding market, a lot of people have got checklists, you know, sign up for our mailing list and you can download our checklist on what you need to do to get your wedding. And they said that was very few people were attracted by that, but it sounded obvious to wedding planners that that's what people would want to do. But one about costs and one about making sure, you know, sort of getting value out of the wedding. That one was getting far more downloads, and it might almost be the same list, but it was having that nuance
Perspective. Yeah.
between just downloading a checklist and having something that's going to save you money is gives a huge advantage to that particular list. And again, it's just sending off the deep research to go and take. You've got to know what to ask it, but you just ask it all those information. You know.
I mean, thinking in your world, David, although you're talking about, websites and stuff start get taken over, for someone to subscribe to a service that you provide, that you have an AI back end on it,
Mm.
and it gives them things to do step by step by step that lead to more inquiries
Mm.
for one thing to start with and then build it up, they're going to carry on paying for that forever.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. So anyway, local SEO, collaborating with influencers. You could try. You have to be, but these are all sort of valid things to do, you know, because people have got millions of followers, for instance. Um,
Mm.
Mm.
if you can get, because some of the YouTube stuff's insane, you know. Um, how many people. Sort of diversifying your traffic sources is the guy I was listening to. You know, I get different opinions. One to say there's no point in doing a social media outlet if you're not do it well. So you're better off doing one or two really well. And this guy's saying no, do them all. You know, because it's another potential traffic source you're ignoring if you're not doing it. So plus you can usually, like with a video, you can put the same one on different platforms. So so yeah, I don't know about that, but again, that's what it says. Multiples again, sort of Reddit and LinkedIn and YouTube all come into that because it's because you can put a link from your YouTube channel into your website. Monitoring and adapting. This is something, Andy's obviously your ballpark, isn't it? So
Yeah.
so it's about leverage. There are online tools, or you know, or use Andy to find out how you're doing. You know?
Oh, it's funny. We had an example
Mm,
this week. A company, they provide they're a wholesale fish place, but they sell stuff online as well. And we just discovered via a call that they were top of Google for a particular keyword that they didn't realize they were there for. And they'd had, it wasn't massive numbers. It was just over 100 people had been to it over a month, this
mm,
particular product, but they'd had no inquiries about this product. So we looked at it, we made a few tweaks to the page, literally on the call, instantly more inquiries. Just it just goes to show that your SEO performance is one part of it, but it's
mm.
about conversions as well.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. It's the way you and AI can help you with that with those words as well
Yeah,
that make people click or not. There's um again, we all know about regularly updating content. Otherwise, Google doesn't even bother with your website if it doesn't change. Um, I mean, like the BBC is constant news is being crawled 24/7, isn't it? You know, so because everything changes and nothing changes on your website, it doesn't bother. It just puts you on the back burner for days, months.
Jane, you're probably the most normal person, normal business person here amongst us because we're sort of webby and geeky.
You
What's
are.
yours? What's your sort of view on, I don't know, the overwhelm of the amount of things you feel you have to do to get in a business? You know, for your website and all sorts of stuff. Do you feel anything like that?
Yeah, I do actually, but it's quite pertinent for us because we've got a website like most companies. It's up there. It doesn't change very much. You know, can't be asked to do it. I mean, I've got some HTML experience, but you know, it's grown in complexity since since the good old days. You know, you just had to type it on a anyway. But we've just we did have somebody managing SEO, but I don't think not much was showing for it. So we jiggled a few things around. I thought we'd invest now in SEO. So this is new to me, so it's particularly interesting because things like Google review, we'd find it. I don't know if you find it. I find it very difficult to ask people for a Google review, but I'm starting to do that now. We've built it into our signature, and we
Yeah.
have got a few more reviews, which seem to be working. People perhaps don't mind as much as I thought they would. Because that's it. You're battling against yourself half the time with these things, aren't you? You're not, and but I'm not sure about the rest of it. So I think we just decided that okay, we'll let somebody else like you guys with the
Yeah.
people that design the website deal with the SEO and see how that goes. So that we've got a rolling contract for 6 months, so we're going to just see how it goes. And they are doing stuff with the website. To me, it seems so obvious and salesy, you know, but if it works, then it works. I'm not sure whether it will now, but I don't know enough about it. I think
Yeah, the
that's
trouble with
my
SEO
view.
is that you've got a lot of people in there who say they're SEO experts and they're not really.
Had it this
I
week.
mean,
I was on a call with someone, and I won't name the firm because we're recording this, but
mm,
they committed to a year's contract. Someone had contacted them about the blue to do SEO. They were the worst possible people they could have chosen to do it. Spending about 280 a month, which is not astronomical, but it's still enough. And they've actually made it worse.
Oh
yeah.
no,
And
goodness me, that's a talent.
but
Is it
yeah, I
easy to
know.
do? It's
I
easy.
know. But this goes on. It's unregulated, and
Mm,
I think
Mm.
I find it very frustrating because people, people in your shoes, for example, Jane, should always be saying, okay, well, actually, how many more inquiries have we had about X or Y or Z? That's all that actually
Mm.
matters, and then link that
Mm.
back to the SEO is not overnight, but there
mm,
are some wins that can be gained within
Mm.
weeks,
mm,
Yeah,
really.
yeah, thanks, Andy. That's exactly what we're hoping for. Not so much the services we do, which is more, I think that you do really have to build up trust with clients, for the servers and so forth. But we do software licenses as well, and people often just need a renewal just by, searching the web and finding out who will provide that particular
Mm.
service. So I'm hoping it'll
So
be
again,
more on that
this
side.
slide, David's slide there, content regularly updating that. So it says
Yeah.
2025 figures. If it doesn't clearly say on the page, it's these 2025 figures, people have doubts in their head. So you have to keep thinking about that stuff.
yeah, 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 definitely. People
What
quite
do you mean,
often,
Let's
2025?
say you've got let's say you've got a page of your website that talks about prices.
Yeah.
People
Oh, I
go to
see.
that page. Now, how do
Yeah.
they know their current prices? Well, you have to
Yeah.
actively tell them these are valid as at 2025 on the page.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah, I see. Adding sort of, well, I suppose authority, isn't it? And yeah, no. What we do is we don't. It's just too much of a nightmare to. It's particularly as some of the stuff we sell is linked to the US conversion FX rates. So
Oh
you
yeah,
can't. But so we tend to do with our providers, our suppliers. We have I suppose is it backlinks that people click, like it's a 30-day free trial, so they'll click on hopefully our website, and then that will be that link will be granted to us if they become a client in the future. Did that make
okay.
any sense at all? I'm
It
not sure
does.
that
It
it
does.
did.
Yeah, yeah. I see what
Yeah.
you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
anyway, regular updates is your website. Let's quickly run through these.
Oh yeah, sorry.
There's only three left. Experiment with AI tools. Yeah, I think we're pretty. I think we're okay with that. With content creation, talking about Jasper there. I have used Jasper on a trial before ChatGPT came out. Actually, it was
Yeah.
around. I think it was. I was creating content with it. It was pretty good, but it was expensive as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't as flexible. I mean, ChatGPT does a lot, way more than Jasper did. But I mean, because it's not just about sort of ChatGPT does a lot more for you. Again, there's we have talked about phrase, but I know Andy's not too impressed with phrase.
I
So
know I love phrase. It just seems to be quite expensive for what it
yeah,
does.
yeah, yeah. So, I suppose a lot of them these uh, keyword research as well. I mean, I've used
Yeah.
SEMrush.
If you got HRS and so much, you're paying over 100 a month for it, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've always done I think I got a free trial for SEMrush, and
Mm.
that was it. So yeah. So I mean, it's and analyzing your content. I mean, there's quite a few tools that would do that. Whether it's good or not, I don't know. KPIs, it's,
Yeah.
with with
It's what no one does. No one
yeah,
monitors this
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. CTR improvements. Once that's minus 50%, you're not going to be happy. So
Yeah.
quality backlinks, and you get
Yeah.
quality backlinks. I mean, I pay people for backlinks, and it didn't seem to make much difference. I wasn't sure. I'm not sure they're actually doing anything a lot of the time. So I mean, do you do backlinks, Andy, or is that
I don't do them myself. I
no,
I advise people
to
how to
mm,
engineer it, but it's really hard.
mm,
I mean, the best ones used to be from things like newspaper sites and stuff like that. But there's so many things they can and can't do. Although I did recently discover
mm,
a financial services firm that has got lots of backlinks from various news sites. You think, well, how on earth have they done that? And they're not even a big firm. So
mm,
there's obviously, I think it comes down to human relationships sometimes.
yeah, because they have got,
Mm.
but they have got directories, aren't they? Things like the Sun and whatever.
Yeah, those standard ones. But the trouble is, everyone's on those.
Yeah, that's right. So they're not worth anything.
There's silly little things like apps on the Google Store
Mm,
can
yeah,
do it.
yeah,
Mm.
weekly challenge. Again, these are really difficult for like a small business when you're focusing on your stuff. Like
Oh God.
I mean, I've got a load of websites to, I've got websites to create and work
Mm.
on them. I ain't got time for all this shit, so it's kind of
It's horrendous, and actually, you're saying it's people need to know what to do next. What's most important to focus on?
yeah, yeah. You'd have to come if you had to do one thing.
Yeah,
Sort of what would it do? I'm going to stop the share there. But I mean, if you had to do one thing, what would it be? I mean, I would do the easiest thing, which is probably create content.
I'd probably do technical SEO stuff
Yeah,
because that's going to block everything else.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So I think,
Interesting. Mm.
yeah, actually working on your pages and yeah,
I can imagine someone seeing that gamma you've done there, and they'd be going, "Oh, I just want to slash my wrists," because
that's right.
it's
Yeah,
just overwhelm, isn't it? You've
it
put all that
is.
effort
Yeah.
into it,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
actually, it's quite good because it can get people to go to you and say, "Well, here's how we get you started."
yeah. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
true. But
It gives
also
you
it
things
makes
to
you
think
think,
about. You
doesn't
can
it?
think, oh, I can't do all that lot, but I could do this and this, and like you said,
Yeah.
maybe getting
Yeah,
your
but
website
so,
working properly first, and then getting the content, and other things will
yeah.
fall into place.
It's actually more like other people that are doing it properly. Are they doing all that? Because you just don't know. How can you tell? No idea.
They
Well,
don't have
actually,
to do
you'd wait for the
everything.
inquiries, of course.
You've just got to do more than the other guys.
Yeah,
Very,
yeah.
very few people, unless they got a lot of budget and people, are doing it, are doing everything.
Yeah,
Mm.
In
yeah.
the small business community, as David says, everyone could do a little bit more than they've done yesterday.
Mm. I've got
Mm,
websites I designed 10 years ago and they look exactly the same today. It's got one blog on there that I put on there as a starter because they're going to do the blogging, and there's nothing has changed. I've set up a Facebook page for them, and all it's got is my original post that I put on there. And
And,
mm,
and,
they
and
don't, well, it depends.
they probably
Yeah.
still rank, don't they? As
Oh yeah,
well.
probably, yeah. But it depends how you get your business. I mean, most of my business comes through networking and referrals. The
mm,
website's not that important to me,
mm,
weirdly, even though that's what I do. I think it's a point of reference where people can find out about you. But
mm,
Yeah,
but then some people rely on, searches and getting business through that way. So it
yeah,
depends on your. I
mm,
don't need that many clients. If you're a sell it cheap and stack it high sort of thing, then obviously you need a lot more.
mm,
yeah.
So
mm. Yeah, yeah. If you've got staff to pay and offices to, and AI to subscribe to as well, that's another expense.
it is, yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna I'm gonna stop the recording now. So